Worthy Lady, owned by Ross and Ross. Kane Kaufman drives. 2 is Columbia Blue Chip, owned by Noble, Midland and Cohen. Chip Noble. 3, Robin Samantha, owned by Ambalal Patel. Jack Franklin is up. Sue and Sarah scores from post 4 with a partnership of Gilmore, Rogers and Batchy, Rick Heitman. 5, Perfect Lady Kalfas, owned by John Kalfas, Brett Miller. 6, Early Country Star is owned by Kenneth Young. The driver is Al Jones. 7 is All Right Sam, owned by John Ackley, Jamie Dunlap. 8 is Expensive Gold, owned by Ronald Bates, Randy Tharps. 9, Asian Flower K, owned by Bob Key, Jeff Fout. 7 minutes. Lined up and ready for the start of the first. They're off. Perfect Lady Kalfas with good early kick comes away from between horses to grab the early lead. All Right Sam goes rough on the outside. Asian Flower K left well. Columbia Blue Chip is taken up along the rail in 4th. Gap of 2 lengths. Robin Samantha is 5th by 2.5. Worthy Lady is next, followed by Sue and Sarah. Then we get Early Country Star and Expensive Gold. Has a dozen to make up at this stage on the pace setter, Perfect Lady Kalfas, who fronts the field for Brad Miller. All Right Sam able to tuck into the pocket. And Asian Flower K opts to drive on to the outside. 28-1 for the opening quarter. And here comes Asian Flower K to confront the pace setter, Perfect Lady Kalfas. And she will try to clear as they approach the clubhouse turn. All Right Sam watches it from 3rd, followed by Columbia Blue Chip in 4th. 2 back Robin Samantha's 5th, followed by Worthy Lady, content to sit in from 6th. And then we get Sue and Sarah, Early Country Star, and Expensive Gold is last. Asian Flower K unable to clear the top spot, and Perfect Lady Kalfas puts her away early. 58-4. It's Perfect Lady Kalfas leading the way as they round the turn into the backstretch. Perfect Lady Kalfas by a length and a quarter. Worthy Lady is unleashing a charge. She's up from 3 wide and charging up the challenge for the lead. All Right Sam is back to 3rd. Columbia Blue Chip is guided to the outside to range up from 4th. 2 back Robin Samantha's 5th. 3 more to Sue and Sarah, who struggles. Then we get Early Country Star inside of a fading Asian Flower K and Expensive Gold as they go by 3/4. Worthy Lady powers in the lead. Columbia Blue Chip working her way up on the outside. 128-3. Midway around the far turn, it's Worthy Lady by a 2-length margin. Perfect Lady Kalfas now reclaims 2nd as Columbia Blue Chip already begins to tie her off. Robin Samantha tries to rally on the extreme outside, followed by All Right Sam as they come down the stretch. And it's Worthy Lady enjoying a 2-length advantage, being chased by Perfect Lady Kalfas and Robin Samantha in the center. But coming to line, it's Worthy Lady on top. She wins it by 2.5. Perfect Lady Kalfas holds 2nd over Robin Samantha, 157-4. $1.5 exact to $6.80. Try 153.58 even. It's Worthy Lady back to the winner's circle. Her 2nd victory in 6 career attempts. She lowers her career best mile to 157-4 in scoring for the partnership of Ross and Ross of Ohio. Kane Kaufman, the winning trainer driver. She's a 2-year-old daughter of Cam's Magic Trick from Worthy Sum by Handsome Sum. Owned by Dan Ryan, Brett Miller. To Magic Rain, owned by Kathy Smith, Jeff Smith drives. A Lot of Marauder is the 3. Diana Russell owns. Tom Russell's aboard. 4 is Leonard Buckner's Stand For Me with Tom Brinkerhoff at the lines. 5 up front leader is owned by Wingfield, and Wingfield, Jeff Out. 6 Look a Duke is owned by Harold Phelps and Rusty Lees, Chip Noble. 7 is Keychain K, leased by Bob Key and John Glessman, Dallas Miller. 8 is the Captain Straw, owned by Del Schulze with Randy Tharps. And 9 is JL Cam Magic, owned by Jerry Kamak with Rick Heitman. Post time in 7 minutes. There they go. They're off. Moving out for the lead. It's Stand For Me from the center, now joined by Magic Rain from the inside. Magic Rain is driving through, gap of 2 lengths. A Look Duke comes away from between horses third, followed by Western Retrieve at the pylons in fourth. Parked out in fifth is the Captain Strawn, who will take a seat 2 lengths clear of Alana Marauder. Then we get up front leader, followed by Keychain K, and JL Cam Magic is last of the 9 as they move to head stretch for the first time. And Stand For Me establishes a 2-length command early on from Magic Rain, who relents in second. 2.5 more to Look Duke, followed by Western Retrieve, 28-1 for the opening quarter as they move in front of the grandstand for the first time, with Stand For Me putting up the numbers, leading the way by 2.5 lengths, tracked by Magic Rain in second. 2.5 more Look Duke is third, followed by Western Retrieve going up first over on the rim from fourth. The Captain Strawn along the rail is fifth with the covered journey. That's up front leader on the outside from sixth, followed by Alana Marauder in seventh. Third over in eighth is Keychain K, and then it's 2 lengths back to the trailer JL Cam Magic. They go by the half in 59-2. Out of the turn down the backstretch, Stand For Me having it all his own way, and here he leads the way by 2 lengths. Magic Rain now draws a closer second. Western Retrieve continues along, taking the overland route from third, followed by Look Duke at the pylons in fourth. Gapping cover, up front leader is fifth, 6 lengths off the pace, followed by the Captain Strawn with nowhere to go. Then we get Keychain K outside of Alana Marauder, and 2.5 lengths back to JL Cam Magic, who has trailed throughout as they head into the far turn. Stand For Me leads the way. Western Retrieve continues the grind on the outside. He has made headway into second. He's parked out 3/4 of a length back in 1:29-2. Around to the top of the stretch, it's Stand For Me on the inside. Western Retrieve on the outside, starting to get to him, followed by Magic Rain. Up front leader has progressed into fourth as they come down the stretch, and Western Retrieve takes the lead in the final 16th. Along the inside, Magic Rain is second, up front leader in the center, but it's going to be Western Retrieve and Brett Miller to win it by 2 lengths. Up front leader to go second. Magic Rain was third. Retrieve scoring his second victory of the season for Dan Ryan, the owner-trainer of Cincinnati. Brett Miller, the winning driver. Western Retrieve's a 4-year-old gray-gelded son of Western Hanover from Retrieve Almahurst by log. Third one is DVC Riptide, owned by Taylor and Jester. Dean Collins. The 2 is Winsome Winter, owned by William Carruthers. Jamie Dunlap drives. 3 Bocam is owned by Timothy Williamson. Roy Wilson up. 4 is Slammy, owned by Donald Turner with Andy Shetler. 5 Lucky Lynn is owned by Gales and Rain, Dave Hawk. Equitability from post 6 for owner-trainer driver Mark Grismore. 7 is Brooklet's Rock, owned by Pamela and David Hanauer, Trent Tharps. 8 Stan the Man Musial, owned by Shed Dubray with Randy Tharps. 9 The Upsetter, owned by James Woodward, Brett Miller, 7 minutes. There they go. They're off. Equitability straight to the front. DVC Riptide is showing speed, followed by Slammy on the outside, who will tuck away into the 3-hole. A gap of 2 lengths back. Winsome Winter is fourth, already 7 lengths off the pace. Length and a half more. Bocam is racing in 5th position. Then 2 lengths farther back to Lucky Lynn, followed by Brooklet's Rock, Stan the Man Musial, and the Upsetter will do his pacing from behind. He is 9th and last as they move around to the top of the stretch, and Mark Grismore has the veteran Equitability setting the pace, 28 2/5. It's Equitability, a length and a half clear of DVC Riptide, who drops in from the pocket second. Slammy sitting in from third. 2 lengths back, Winsome Winter is fourth. Length and a half more, Bocam is racing in 5th position and will now ride the cover of Winsome Winter, who is hustled to the outside. Third over in 6th is Lucky Lynn outside of Stan the Man Musial, and then we got Brooklet's Rock on the outside. The Upsetter remains last as they move around the clubhouse turn with Equitability on the front end. Equitability reaches the half in 58-2 and continues to lead the way from DVC Riptide by 2 lengths. Winsome Winter on the outside is first up from third, followed by Slammy locked in fourth. Bocam second over fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Fourth back at the pylons in sixth position is Stan the Man Musial with nowhere to go. Third over in seventh is Lucky Lynn, followed by the upsetter, and Brooklyn's Rock is on the outside, trailing as they move for the far turn, and they haven't come after Equitability yet. The lead is 3 lengths. Winsome Winter going the long mile has worked his way in a second. DVC Riptide continues to lose ground in 1:27.2 midway through the far turn. Equitability trying to last on the lead. Winsome Winter the closest pursuer, followed by Slam U Shakes Free. Bocam doesn't have it tonight, followed on the extreme outside as they turn for home by the upsetter, and they come down the stretch, and it's Equitability by 3 lengths. Slammy is closing in second. Winsome Winter labors in third, but it's Equitability to win it. Equitability by 2 lengths from Slammy in second. Stan the Man Musial third, 1:57.2. 51 even. Making his way back to the winner's circle for the 6th time this season is Equitability, a 14-year-old son of Equitable from Dolly Whisk by Easy Adios, owned, trained, and driven by Mark Grismore of Pandora, Ohio. Equitability scores in 1:57.2. Tonight's third race named in memory of Russell Mead of Mead and Associates. For their first division of tonight's 5th leg of Ohio Sire Stakes. 20,200 on the line. Number 1 is Striking Vision, owned by Mark and Tannis Lewis, trained by Dave Bartlett. Charlie Myrick drives. 2 Buenos Sabres, owned by Amy Miller, trained by Gary Gilliland. Chip Noble is off. 3 is out. The 4 is Striking Page, owned by Patricia Willem and Acadia Farms, trained by Marty Willem with Dave Hawk in the buy. Rose Run Exotic is the 5, owned by Sanders and Eblin, conditioned by Mike Metters, the driver Jamie Dunlap. 6, Toss the Dice, owned in partnership by John Melsheimer and Bradley Stubbs, trained and driven by Dave Rankin. 7 is Jack Tremonti's She's a Gold Digger, conditioned by Kelly O'Donnell, Brett Miller at the lines. 8 is High Gear Sabra, owned by Fred Polk with Jeff Fout, and the 9 is Dynamo Sabra, owned by Dean Davis and Brenda Sugg. Kurt Sugg trains and drives. 7 minutes. Catch in, set to go. They're off. Nice even beginning. First away from the inside, it's Bueno Sabra. Striking Vision is showing speed, along with Dynamo Sabra from the far outside, and Striking Page in the top grouping as well. Rose Run Exotic angles over the pylons to grab a seat in 5th. 2 lengths farther back to High Gear Sabra. Toss the Dice, and She's a Gold Digger is relegated to the tail end of the field as Kurt Sugg and Dynamo Sabra step on by Bueno Sabra to take the early lead. Striking Vision back to 3rd. Striking Page is 4th, and the quarter goes in 28 4/5, passing the stands for the first time, and Bueno Sabra right back out at Dynamo Sabra and taking back the lead. Striking Vision is 3rd, followed by Striking Page in the 4th spot. Rose Run Exotic hunts the pylons in 5th, followed by Toss the Dice in 6th. High Gear Sabra looks to flush cover on the outside, and the trailer is She's a Gold Digger as they race around the clubhouse turn, bound for the half-mile pole, and your even money favorite is leading the way. Trotting on top, it's Bueno Sabra, a Bueno Sabra from Dynamo Sabra, and Striking Page is first over on a steady gain, 101.2 for halftime. Riding cover on the outside, Rose Run Exotic comes into the action 4th. Striking Vision shuffled back to 5th. 3rd over in 6th is High Gear Sabra, then 2 lengths back to She's a Gold Digger, and Toss the Dice is last as they head for the far turn. And Bueno Sabra is holding off Striking Page on the outside, followed by Dynamo Sabra, gapped in the pocket 3rd. Rose Run Exotic continues to move with cover on the outside 4th, followed by Striking Vision and High Gear Sabra 3/4, 132 flat. Midway around the far turn, Bueno Sabra and Striking Page, the top pair, is squaring off. Rose Run Exotic on the outside 3rd. Dynamo Sabra continues to lose ground. High Gear Sabra on the far outside, but it's Bueno Sabra as they come inside the final 8th. She appears to have shaken off Striking Page. Late kick, Rose Run Exotic. High Gear Sabra out in the center. Bueno Sabra is weary. High Gear Sabra on the outside upsets at 15-1 in the first division, the 2-year-old filly trot. Bueno Sabra and Striking Page 2-2-2. High Gear Sabra in an upset returns 32-80 to win as she captures tonight's first division, the fifth leg of the 2-year-old filly trot. She's a 2-year-old daughter of Striking Sabra from Barra by Cummin, owned by Fred Polk of Zanesville, trained by Eric Nesselrode, and driven to victory by Jeff Fout. 4 wins and 8 starts on the season. High Gear Sabra in 2-2-2. We're on the track for the fifth. Exactas and tries. Number 1 is Captain Chaos, owned by Schoonover, Schlosser, and Baroff. Carry Rome. 2 is Up Front GW, owned by Mark Rowe with Dave Hawk. 3 Neutron Jack, owned by Gilmore Rogers and Batchy, Rick Heitman. 4 is Hot Rod Jack, owned by Val Bohm and Deanna Napoli, Jack Franklin up. 5 is How Forever Feels, owned by Rose Adams with Kyle Ader. 6 Good Time Johnny, owned by Juan Deverman and Bucky Trout, Jeff Fout aboard. 7 is Dandy Lookin', owned by Patricia Dingledine with Rick Dingledine. 8 is Super Gizmo, owned by Blatchford Presser and Presser, Randy Tharps. 9 Will's Gold, owned by Timothy Williamson, Roy Wilson. And 10 is Jerry Alderman's Flying Spirit and Chip Noble up, 6 minutes. And there they go. They're off. Sprinting out for the lead, it's How Forever Feels, who quickly opens up by 2 lengths. Dandy Lookin' will tuck neatly into the pocket second. Up Front GW is third, followed by Good Time Johnny with good early speed. Now taken back a bit and settles away in the 4th spot. Parked out in 5th is Super Gizmo, followed next by Captain Chaos. Then we get Flying Spirit inside of Neutron Jack. Then it's Hot Rod Jack. And Will's Gold is the early trailer, going off stride while ranging up. Up Front GW. They wheel by the opening quarter, 27 3/5 with How Forever Feels on an uncontested lead to this stage. It's a length and a half. Dandy Lookin' is second by 3. Good Time Johnny is next, followed by Super Gizmo, who follows along in the 4th spot. Sitting in 5th is Captain Chaos, 2 in front of Flying Spirit. Then we get Neutron Jack, Hot Rod Jack, 3 back to Will's Gold, and much farther back, Up Front GW remains on a break. Rounding the turn, half-mile pole bound, leading the way. It's your 2-1 favorite, How Forever Feels. Kyle Ader and How Forever Feels dictating the pace. It's 58 1 to the half. How Forever Feels leads the way. Dandy Lookin' with the ground-saving 2-hole trip. Super Gizmo is first over on the outside from 3rd. Good Time Johnny now hemmed in 4th. Captain Chaos is brought along with cover on the outside in 5th. Neutron Jack tightens down in 6th. An Anxious Flying Spirit looks to rally from 3 deep, followed by Hot Rod Jack. Will's Gold has 8 lengths to make up, and the very distant trailer remains Up Front GW. They go by 3/4, and it's How Forever Feels trying to get away from them. The lead is now 2 lengths. 1:27 flat midway through the far turn. How Forever Feels by 2 lengths. Super Gizmo comes under whip urging in 2nd. Captain Chaos is 3rd. Dandy Lookin' fades out of contention. Flying Spirit never fired as they straighten away. How Forever Feels trying to take them wire to wire. Here comes Super Gizmo taking the inland route. 3 back to Captain Chaos and Hot Rod Jack. Super Gizmo collars How Forever Feels and wins it edging clear. How Forever Feels was able to hold 2nd over Captain Chaos, 156 1. To the winner's circle with Super Gizmo, a 3-year-old Noble and Sam Colt from Super Plus by Bruce Gimbel. Owned by Blatchford Presser and Presser, trained by Ron Potter. Super Gizmo scores his 4th win of the season, 156 1. 8.5 exact to 43.80. Try 8.51 to 20.60. Presenting a field of 2-year-old filly trotters for tonight's 6th race. The 2nd division of the 5th leg of Ohio Sire Stakes carries a purse of $20,200. Number 1 is Teresa Lou, owned by the Gwynnie Lou Stables, trained by Travis Redden with Dallas Miller. 2 Striking Honey, owned by Neil and Betty Bauer, trained by Kelly O'Donnell. Brett Miller's up. 3 China's Message is owned by Beaver and Fuller, trained by Chris Beaver with Dave Hawk. Meadowland Miracle from post 4 for the North Meadow Stable, Mike Metters and driver Jamie Dunlap. 5, Mystic Joanne is owned by Lionel Ray Whitaker, Randy Tharps for trainer David Morgan. 6, Foxy Caller is owned by Charles Lane, trained and driven by Justin Hall. 7, BV Victory owned by Dwayne Lowe, the trainer with Chip Noble up. 8, Chudy is owned by Monroe Weaver, trained by Marty Willem, Jim Daly aboard. 9, Get Back JoJo is owned by Yoder and Yoder, trained by Real Millet with Jeff Fout. 6 minutes. Of 9, they're in the backstretch, and there they go. They're off. Slow start for the 2, Striking Honey, who now goes off stride. Several eager to begin. Foxy Caller from 4 deep. Meadowland Miracle between horses. Teresa Lou along the pylons. And Mystic Joanne is the first to relent. She is now parked out in 4th position. Followed by China's Message, who secures a spot at the pylons. In 5th, 2 farther back, BV Victory comes away mid-pack in 6th. 3 lengths clear of Chudy. Followed by Get Back JoJo. And much farther back to a troubled Striking Honey as they go by the opening quarter in 28 and 4/5. Passing the stands for the first time, and Meadowland Miracles making her move as she sweeps to the lead, taking it over from Foxy Caller as they approach the wire for the first time. Teresa Lou is back to 3rd. Mystic Joanne's on the outside in 4th, and she'll bring BV Victory along with her from 5th. Along the pylons in 6th is China's Message, followed by Chudy in the cover tier 7th, and then much farther back to Get Back JoJo, who made a miscue and is still well clear of Striking Honey. They wheel by the half. Meadowland Miracle reaches that station on top in 59 and 2. Out of the turn down the backstretch, it's Meadowland Miracle by 2 lengths. Being pursued by Foxy Caller in the pocket spot 2nd. Teresa Lou is 3rd. China's Message is guided to the outside 4th, coming out just in front of the 7 BV Victory, who's still 7 lengths off the lead. Chudy is next, and then it's much farther back to Mystic Joanne, Get Back JoJo, and Striking Honey as they go to the far turn. It's Meadowland Miracle enjoying a 2.5 length advantage on Foxy Callers, chased along in 2nd. Teresa Lou is 3rd. China's Message. BV Victory is starting to gain ground on the far outside as time begins to run out. 129 and 4 around to the top of the stretch. It's all Meadowland Miracle by 4 lengths. Foxy Caller is 2nd. BV Victory continues to rally down the center but is still 6 lengths off the lead as they come inside the final 16th. Meadowland Miracle leads it by 4. BV Victory is closing quickly, but she's running out of ground. Meadowland Miracle has won it. Finishing 2nd was BV Victory over Teresa Lou in 2 minutes and 1. Horse 7 exact at $9.40. Try 471, $41 even. Heading back to the winner's circle, it's Meadowland Miracle. She's a 2-year-old Striking Sabra filly from Charming Sabra by Arnie Almahurst, owned by the North Meadow Stable, trained by Mike Metters, and driven to victory by Jamie Dunlap as she scores in tonight's 2nd division of the 5th leg of the 2-year-old filly trot of Ohio Sire Stakes. Watch out for Meadowland Miracle in another week and a half on Ohio Super Night here at Scioto Downs. 3 of 3 in the pick 3, 4 into 21 even. Here they are for the 7th, 1 Runaway Lawyer owned by the Newcastle Stable, Rick Heitman. 2 Lingo owned by Harold Walters, Jim Daly. 3 Artistic Charm owned by Harold Ruddock Jr. and Beverly Ruddock, Dave Hawk. Our Dirty Gertie is the 4 owned by Ralph Calvert Jr., Joe Adamski aboard. 5, Maurice Herron's Tucson Eyecatcher and Kane Kaufman. 6 is out. 7 is Lincoln Sand Diamond. Under lease to George Conklin Jr., Del S. Miller's aboard. 8, Secret Garden. Iris Horowitz owns, Kyle Ader drives. 9, CG Genie is owned by Charles Gator with Jeff Fout. And off the 2nd tier, the 10 horse Sharp on It is owned by Betty Jean Jordan with Randy Tharps. 6 minutes. The race field lined up in the backstretch, and there they go. They're off. Heading out to take command, it's Lincoln Sand Diamond, joined by the outsider Secret Garden and CG Genie as they enter the turn. A Runaway Lawyer comes away a prominent 4th, followed by Artistic Charm, hung out in 5th. Sharpnet is 6 by 2. Then we get Lingo, followed by Our Dirty Gertie. And the back marker at this stage is Tucson Eyecatcher. As they round the turn to head stretch, Lincoln Sand Diamond leads it. And Secret Garden is able to tuck into the pocket. CG Genie is driving on from 3rd. 28 seconds for the first quarter, and here comes CG CG Genie on the outside. Debris is right on by Lincoln San Diamond and open up 2.5 lengths. Secret Garden with the rail ride in third. Runaway Lawyer follows through fourth. Lingo hung out uncovered in fifth and now flushes out Runaway Lawyer. Racing in sixth position is Sharp Annette. Artistic Charm comes to the outside to grab cover. Then it's Our Dirty Gertie and Tucson Eye Catcher is last as they round the turn on their way to halftime. Leading the way, it's CG Genie, 59-2. CG Genie by 1 length. Runaway Lawyer inching up on the outside to force the issue in second. Lincoln San Diamond third. Brought into contention. Lingo on the outside, 2.5 off the lead in the top flight fourth. Break of 3. Artistic Charm is racing in fifth position. Secret Garden is about 6 lengths out of it, followed by Sharp Annette, and 5 lengths back to the pair of trailers, Tucson Eye Catcher and Our Dirty Gertie. They go by 3/4, and it's CG Genie holding off the challenge of Runaway Lawyer on the outside. Then we get Lincoln San Diamond and Lingo, 128-2. Moving around to the top of the stretch, CG Genie edges clear by 2 lengths as they bend into the stretch. Followed by Runaway Lawyer giving chase in second. Lincoln San Diamond continues to lose ground. Closing strong out in the center. Here comes Sharp Annette. CG Genie full out. Sharp Annette is gobbling up ground. CG Genie, Sharp Annette on the outside. They hit the wire together with Runaway Lawyer third. At a 3-year-old Look Sharp filly from Rochette by Joji Hanover, owned by Betty Jordan, trained by Laura Jordan. Sharp Annette covers the mile in 1:58-2, a new career best. The late double with Exactas and Tries. One is Camtastic Lover, owned by Jack and Gertrude Morgan, Bill Long Jr. Two Fritzy Reporter, owned by Mel B. Ober, Rick Heitman. Hammer and Dan the 3, owned and driven by Chip Noble. 4 Wolf, owned by Philip Hauser, Kyle Ader. 5 is out. 6 Eric, owned by Richard Shively, Jim Daly. 7 is Typhoid. Michael Graney owns Bill Walters at the lines. 8 Rizzulli, owned by Campbell and Cherry, Randy Tharps. 9 Major Mahone is owned by David Carey with Brad Miller, and the 10 Waiting for Sam by Whole Investment Company, David Myers. 7 minutes, and there they go. They're off. Camtastic Lover away to a fast start. Good early kick from Wolf in between horses, and Typhoid is 3 deep as they head into the far turn. A gap of 2.5 lengths back. Fritzy Reporter is 4th, 2 more. And we get Waiting for Sam in 5th. Hammer and Dan is 6 by 2. Followed by Eric Rizzulli and Major Mahone as they move to head stretch for the first time. And Wolf looks to press on by Camtastic Lover. And Typhoid is not willing to settle away early. There goes Typhoid on the outside. The top 3, 4 lengths clear in a fast 27-3. Passing the stands, Wolf makes the front end, but Typhoid looks to take the lead away as they approach the wire. Gap of 2.5. Camtastic Lover is 3rd, 4 more back. Fritzy Reporter is 4th. Waiting for Sam follows along in 5th, but is 10 lengths off the lead. Followed by Hammer and Dan, Eric Rizzulli, and Major Mahone, well strung out as Typhoid makes the front end as they move half-mile pole bound. Typhoid is now setting the pace from Wolf in 2nd by 2.5. Camtastic Lover is 3rd. Fritzy Reporter can wait no longer and is making his move on the outside. The half goes in 57-1. Waiting for Sam now moves with live cover on the outside, brought into contention in 4th. Racing 3rd over in 6th position is Hammer and Dan, followed by Eric Rizzulli and Major Mahone. They tighten down as they race by the 5/8 mile marker and head for the far turn. Typhoid continues to lead the way. Typhoid a length and a half. Wolf 2nd. Fritzy Reporter having trouble holding his ground. Forced up 3 wide, Waiting for Sam. Camtastic Lover, Hammer and Dan's all bottled up with Eric 3 deep in 127 flat. Around to the top of the stretch. Typhoid leaves it. Wolof looks to come out of the pocket to challenge in the stretch second. Camtastic Lover shakes free third. Razuli is fourth as the field straightens away. Typhoid leads the way by 2.5 lengths. Wolof is chasing in second. Camtastic Lover is gaining ground on the outside. Typhoid bearing in and laboring, but he's going to go on to win it. Wolof had to settle for second. Camtastic Lover third. Typhoid the winner, Razuli fourth, Major Mahone sixth, waiting for Sam eighth. Top down 3-9-7, 2 scratch 5, 1 4 6 8. Into the winner's circle, it's Typhoid, scoring his second victory of the season for Michael Graney and Bill Walters, the trainer-driver, 157. That's good for a new career best. Typhoid's a 3-year-old Jeremy's Gambit colt out of the Albatross mare, Silky's Gal. The nightcap's up next. It's the 9th. Exactus Tries and Supers. 9. It's Carl again is scratched. Post time 16 minutes at 10:10. And Supers. Number 1 is Zerk, going by Charles Geiler. Sandy Beatty drives. 2 is Philip News, Yankee Dragon, and Jim Daly up. Indian Winner is the 3, owned by Stephen Kaufman. Kane Kaufman is aboard. Number 4, a Wildwood Joe. He's owned by James Pichachero with Rick Heitman. Out of post 5, it's Pearl Pavers, Caleb Special, and Kyle Ader. 6, Clearwater Chip, owned by Joseph Schmidt Sr., Dave Hawk. 7 is Camden Radiant, owned by William Carruthers with Jamie Dunlap. 8 is Dollar Bill, owned by Herb Thompson, Brett Miller. 9 is out. 10 is Noble Big G, owned by Robert and Gail Impson. Dallas Miller's up. Post time for the 9th in 6 minutes. 9th race pacing field in the backstretch and nearing the start. They're off. Quickest away, it's Clearwater Chip from the center. Zerk with good early kick along the inside. Wildwood Joe is hung out in third. 3 deep in fourth is Camden Radiant. Yankee Dragon is fifth, but only 3 lengths off the early lead. Then we get Indian Winner inside of Dollar Bill, gap of 2. To Caleb Special, and Noble Big G is the early trailer as Clearwater Chip commands this field early on. It's Clearwater Chip from pocket sitter Zerk, and Wildwood Joe is on the move early on the outside. 27-3, a fast opening quarter for Clearwater Chip, who is making the pace as they move in front of the grandstand. Wildwood Joe is parked out in second. Zerk from the pylons is third. Yankee Dragon follows through from fourth. In line from fifth, it's Indian Winner, followed by Camden Radiant. Caleb Special is underway on the outside, and then we get Dollar Bill and Noble Big G as they move around the clubhouse turn on their way to the half-mile pole. Clearwater Chip leads the way by just over 1. Wildwood Joe going the long mile on the outside. Zerk's locked up in the box, 57-4. Indian Winner is second over on the outside and may have to circle around the dead cover of Wildwood Joe, and there he goes. Yankee Dragon at the pylons is racing in fifth position, followed next by Camden Radiant. Caleb Special tries to follow the 3-wide move of Indian Winner, and then we get Noble Big G and Dollar Bill as they head for 3/4. It's Clearwater Chip continuing to set the pace. Clearwater Chip by just over 1. Zerk is second. Indian Winner is now uncovered on the rim and starts to get some urging as he starts to lose ground. Then it's Yankee Dragon, 128 flat. Midway through the far turn, Clearwater Chip leads it, but Zerk now shakes free from the pocket and springs it to take on the pace setter Clearwater Chip, followed by Yankee Dragon on the far outside. Late kick along the pylons, Camden Radiant. Clearwater Chip full out. Zerk came out of the pocket but had no pace. Yankee Dragon on the outside soars by. Yankee Dragon opens up late to win it. Zerk to finish second, followed by a 3-way show photo between Indian Winner, Caleb Special, and Clearwater Chip. To the winning circle, Yankee Dragon with good late kick to come home and win it easily. 158-1 for Philip New, Donald Barker, the winning trainer, and Jim Daly, the winning driver. Two unexact 84.40, tried 215, 339.60, super 2156, $2,600 even. 7-2 in the late double comes back 109 even, and 3 of 3 in the late pick 3, 488.